Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Wire Sports Media. This is your Motivational Monday edition. So I have to come back and recap something from, actually, I'm recapping and previewing at the same time. So first, let me get to the preview. I am previewing Tuesday's night game against the Indiana Fever and Atlanta Dream in the WNBA playoff. The Indiana Fever are facing a brink of elimination in Game 2. They need to win Game 2 to keep their playoff hopes alive. They need to win Game 2 to show that they're able to win a playoff game, which they have not won in some period of time. We just seen the Atlanta Dream just won a playoff game for the first time since 2018. Can the Indiana Fever get out of their way to win a playoff game? Because right now, it's looking like Stephanie White playoff wins against the Fever last year look like a fluke. It's looking like a fluke because right now she's flat out getting out coached. Yeah, I said it. She's getting out coached. See, y'all can sit back and blame the officials all y'all want, but this is playoff basketball. This is what's going to happen. You can't sit there, whine, complain about the referees, or the referees missed this call, the referees got this call wrong, this referee should have called this, and play. Even in every sport that you have ever watched, the referees is going to make some calls, they're going to miss some calls. Whether you think they got it out for the Fever or you don't think they got it out for the Fever. But guess what? Stephanie White has to get off her ass and coach. She can't sit here, whine and complain. You was down 10 in the third quarter. And guess what happened? You got mad because Nas Hillman threw Shea Payday out the way, which, okay, you could say, hey, what about that call? They didn't call the call. But guess what? That tech that you get caused your team to get further in the hole. You caused your team to get further in the hole in the second quarter when you had the momentum in the first quarter. The things that y'all was doing in the first quarter, you should have kept doing because the fact of the matter is you already had the momentum. The game was easy to win. The referees didn't play that much big of a part to cause you the game. Your slow rotation, your slow adjustment, and you allow certain players to stay in the game too long. You allow Kelsey Mitchell to sit out too long for 5 minutes to bring her back in. She is your leading scorer. Your only scorer that really could get her own bucket. You have not drawn no plays to get Aaliyah Boston anything. If Aaliyah Boston can't insert herself into games, this Fever team ain't going to win. You already can't count on Natasha Howard. Leah Boston can't sit back and be whining. Yeah, she got bopped beside her head by Brittany Griner. So what? You done been playing Brittany Griner for the last 3 seasons. Brittany Griner ain't going to change her style now just to appease you. Guess what? You got to give it back to them. Like Herm Edwards always say in sports, you play the game to win. That means you got to win at all costs. You can't let officials take you out of your element. Lexi Hall just said it on the podium yesterday. We got to go out and play. We can't allow the officials to dictate the game. So if Lexi Hall telling you in the podium, Stephanie White, that means you can't allow emotion to take over a game and cause your team. Your team is right there in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, down five. You had a chance to steal game 1 from them. But everybody wants to run around here, complain about the referees when you blatantly, you got out-coached. Flat out, you got out-coached. You think the Atlanta Dream is going to take it easy on you? in game 2? No, they're not. They're trying to send you home. They're trying to send you home. They ain't coming in to shake your hand, laugh, and giggle with you. I thought about this morning when I woke up. There's only 5 players on this team that's tough. Caitlin, Sophie, Ariel, Chloe, Lexi. Mitchell, so to the extent. Everybody else is soft. Everybody else is soft. You know why? Because they don't show no toughness. They don't show no fight. These are the times that you're supposed to go to war for your teammates through everything. Win, lose, or draw. If we got our butts kicked, guess what? We going out swinging, some form of fashion. When Leo Boston started whining and complaining to the official, guess what? She plays like trash. She plays like trash. Stephanie White got to be better. For her to have one of the most experienced as a coach in success in the league, she seems like how Christy Siles was last year. You cannot sit here and tell me that you flat out getting coached by the thing about it is this, and I'm gonna say I'm sorry, but maybe none of y'all don't want to say this, or maybe none of y'all just don't see it. Ever since Caitlin Clark went out, this team was never made to be successful. Ever since Sophie Cunningham went out, this team was never made to be successful. This team is not tough enough. This team is not physical enough. This team doesn't have what it takes to be a championship team. This team does not have what it takes to go out and win a playoff series. This team does not have the leadership to get them over the top. You see, in order to be a championship team, you got to throw it all on the line. You got to put it all on the line. You got to go out there. Lexi Hall putting it all on the line. Ariel Powers putting it all on the line. You don't see Leah Boston diving on the floors. You don't see Natasha Howard with her broken back diving all over the floors. See, if you really want to take it to the next level, see, the thing about it is the referees, the media, and your opponent ain't there to be your friend. They ain't there to be your friend. So you can sit there and cry all you want about the referees or how they so much trash. But guess what? They've been trash all season long. Every time Stephanie White loses a game, it's the referee's fault. She never takes responsibility for her own mishaps or her own bad judgment, her lack of rotation, her bad rotation. She don't know when to call the timeout here and there. But then she sits back and throws her team under the bus. Her team gets discouraged. They don't play with no enthusiasm. Yeah, they talk and say the right things in the media or at the post game or the pre-game conferences. They say all the right things. But when you got to go out and face that opponent, because guess what? It don't matter who the Indiana Fever faced in the playoffs. They ain't gonna win. They don't have the will to win. See, they have the will for each individually, but there's only certain people on that team that had the will to win. You think if Caitlin Clark was back right now, how pissed off she would be of how the team is being coached? She's sitting from a sideline and watching this. Yeah, Stephanie White jumped up and down, got a tech, make it look good. But guess what? Look at these players' faces right here.
Obviously, I'd used both the challenges in the first half, and it seemed like the tensions boiled over in the fourth with those technical fouls. Just how frustrating was that today?
It's very frustrating. Very frustrating. Nobody likes to use their challenges in the first half. especially when they're successful. And look, it is what it is. This is not anything that's new. I think how we adjust.
She said it. This is not anything that's new. So if this is not anything that's new, why in the hell are you allowing yourself to be out coached? Stephanie White, we could sit here, give her a pass for everything. We could sit here and say, well, you know what? All the injuries finally caught up with the Fever. No, the Fever has been playing like this all season. Good moments here, more bad moments there. If you want to blame the referees, fine and good. That's your calling. But the overall view of this whole game, was Stephanie White got outcoached.
How we use it to our advantage on one end and try to be disciplined enough to not on the other end. It's an equal chess match as it is for playing an opponent, right? So, I think that's just an area that we're going to have to dive into, how we get an advantage.
How you get an advantage. Guess what, Stephanie White? This is the deal. All right, let me break it down to you. See, everybody's going to rant and rave today about the officials. I could care less about the officials. I don't care about the officials. What I care about is you getting out coached as a coach. You should have more experience than that coach across from you. You should know. Let me break down something to y'all real quick. Because see, Naz Hillman had 3 fouls. No, Naz Hillman has 5 fouls. Breonna Jones had 5 fouls. Leisha Gray had 3. Ryan Howard had 3. Jordan Canada had 6. She was already fouled out the game. And y'all want to say, well, Lyle, where you getting at? Anytime a player is in foul trouble, what does the other opponent does? The other opponent literally attacks that player to make him pick up another foul. We didn't even attack Breonna Jones to give her a 6th foul. We didn't even attack Naz Hillman to give her a 6th foul. But you allowed Naz Hillman to ran off 16 points. If you had got her fouled out the game, they didn't have nobody else. You got to eliminate the X factors of opponent's team. Ryan Howard, you could have got 4 fouls on her. Alicia Gray, you would have got 4 fouls on her. Guess what? They would have played differently defensively. You got to attack your opponent when they're in trouble. The damn sure they're going to attack you when you're in trouble. What they did, they kept going at Aaliyah Boston. As soon as Leah Boston picked up 1 foul, 2 fouls, guess what they did? They kept going after her. It's your job as the coach to adjust to that. You cannot sit there and allow Aaliyah Boston to keep getting attacked. There's only her and Natasha Howard was the only 2 on the court that had the most fouls. Lexi and Kelsey only had 3. Nobody else had more than 2. Stephanie White sat there and did not attack that team the right way to get them out of there. Because guess what? Brittany Brown was on the bench forever, came in here and there to give Bree Jones a little breather. She ain't had no fouls. She only had 2 points in the game. So she was a non-factor. When Ryan Howard was out the game, when she was getting her lips sewed up, that was your opportunity to attack this team. We watching coaching male practice at its finest, guys, with Stephanie White. Well, you can sit here and whine and complain about the referees. I don't care. I do not care. The fact of the matter is, this game was there to be won. The Fever had control of this game in the first quarter, and Stephanie White allowed this game to slip away. You're on the brink of elimination, Indiana Fever. You are on the clock. And the clock is ticking fast. If you do not come out in game 2 on Tuesday night to send it back to Atlanta by either Friday when y'all play again, or Thursday, whatever it is, guess what? You wouldn't have to worry about packing your bags because you will already be home. And guess what? Frustration, being pissed off, mad, disappointed, how the season ends. And guess what you're going to do when you lose on Tuesday night? You're going to blame the referees again. Because that's your way of not taking accountability for what you have done with this team coaching-wise. Can the Indiana Fever win game 2? Yes, they can. But they have to get out their own way. They got to show, if they supposedly be, quote unquote, America's team, now you know every game is a home game. But guess what? Last night game wasn't. So Indiana Fever, again, Stephanie White, again, you is on the clock. And the clock is ticking fast. The Indiana Fever are on the brink of elimination. Cancun has already got their tickets waiting. Are you going to delay them tickets? Or are you just going to pack it up and say, hey, I'm ready for the all season? The choice is yours. This is Live Wire Sports Media. If you ain't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you ain't a member of the channel, please do so. Until the next episode, I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live Wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.